Boom! Well, we're here again at the Flying Can Ranch at Cedar Creek Lake, Texas. I think I've got enough time battery here to talk about something else that came my way. One thing I want to point out, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll just talk about it later. This is the H&K Heckler and Koch VP9 Blowback baby pistol. We'll kind of look at it here and we'll give you a good idea. We'll spin it around. You can see the business end of it down here on the grip. We'll move it back around over to here. So we'll go with the specs real quick. This is the Heckler & Koch VP9. It is a 177 steel BB, preferably. The overall length is 7.20 inches. The barrel length is oddly a 4.13 inch barrel. And the overall weight is 1 pound, 1.42 pounds. This one has an 18 round magazine. We're going to talk about these magazines in a minute. It does have a little weaver rail at the bottom, and it does run like a Glock type trigger on it. So let's just get over that spec thing. Let's look at it real close. This has got some kind of a bubbly stippling. Does not, you can't interchange the back strap like you do with the Smith & Wesson. You do have the little finger grooves right here, unlike the USP. It does have that Glock style trigger to it. Moving up the top, you've got some grab area right here, some grab area here at the front for cocking the gun, running the slide. The slide is all metal. Seems a little wobbly. This one seems to be a little tighter on the slide. And I bought with me the Glock. It's got a little bit of play to it. So that being said, it has really good white dots here and way up here at the front. So they're very easy to get a sight picture on it. You do have this some stippling right here for if you want to put your finger there and do your gun control type thing. And like the USP, it's got a little toggle on each side of your trigger guard that you pop the mag out with. And that one really pops out well, like it's supposed to. You know, the USP, as I said earlier, it comes loose, but it's like you got to drag it out. I put a little oil around it. Maybe in time it will wear in, and you got to click it in there. Now, going around before we get to the big part, some of these in the reality, like the real world, the real gun, would have a little thing that would pop out in the back if you were active, like you had around the chamber, and that would pop out. Now this one, unlike the USP, does not have a decocker mechanism. It is what it is. And so the slides or the magazines. This came out of the VP9. We're going to lay that down there. And this one came out of the Glock. Somebody hit me up about that. They're about the same height, everything. But do not... Okay, now here's the Glock. Oh, I'm sorry, here's the... I'm not sure which one I got in my hand now. See how that kind of goes there and it stops. It doesn't just slide right in. You could force it. And you're going to have the same problem if you take the VP9 and try to put it. It acts like it's going to go in there a little better, but then it gets hung for a second. So don't do that. Don't get them mixed up. They're not interchangeable. You can't do it. See, that doesn't work. But if I go back over here, fits perfect. VP9. fits perfect. They're not interchangeable. So, moving right along with this. It's a lighter in the hand. You do have, like I said, the finger groove to this, unlike the USP. But it is lighter in the hand. Doesn't feel quite as meaty as the one I just reviewed. And this one's got a little bit deeper stippling into it. Now, I think this one runs about 99. You can grab this one for about, I think, 79, something like that. But it seems to perform quite well. As I said, it is a blowback version. They do not sell a non-blowback version like the USP does. You know, I think the USP is breaking over $100, but they got a non-blowback for like 54 something. So I don't think there's much more I can tell you about this other than we just stacked the same kind of BBs in it. I've got some the black diamonds already out here, and I thought these are steel, but I guess they're zinc. It says steel, but we've got these, and this is what we're going to try. So I've only shot this thing one time, so bear with me on the test. We're going to get everything loaded up. We'll get CO2s in them. Oh, the other thing I meant to mention here, I totally forgot, and I hope I left the tool out here. No, I didn't. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. Hold on a second. I did it again. 1 second. Oh, I tell you, my brain does not function. Quite honest, I wasn't really expecting to make this video. So, I took everything back in the house, I believe, because I dang sure don't see it out here. We're going to drop the mag. You're going to slide the little plate forward. And no, this one you do not. It's just wide open. Stick your tool in there. You loosen this back a ways. Put a little oil on a CO2. You will drop it into play here. You're going to put your key in and turn it clockwise in until your CO2 is locked in. You want to get it back out, take it counterclockwise, and put your finger down the bottom, lift up through that hole in the bottom. Bingo, you're out. So unlike this one that I mentioned, that you got to get that back in there, the VP9 is much easier in that regard. I know I'm bouncing around here. So also with this one, move these up where I can do it. You can grab your little thing right here at the top, bring it down, take it to your left if you're facing it. Maybe hold your finger over it, and just that fast you can start one. Leave this at an 18 round. 2, 3. Much easier to load than the USP. Don't get me wrong, I'm not cutting down the USP. I just like this method a little bit better. And I did want to point out they're not interchangeable, so don't try to ram that in there. I know I'm being a little redundant. And then you just load them in there like so. We're going to start off using some of the steel BBs. But it's much faster to get it loaded up. Comes out of the gun much easier. Again, I enjoy shooting the USP. It's very, very accurate. And you'll shake them around, get them kind of staggered in there, like so. And the loading process, this thing's getting a little low on BBs in my little tray, so it's hard for me to grab them. And you'll just keep popping them. Sometimes you got to shake them a little bit. Hold your finger over the end, and I'll show you just like that, and just kind of shake it if they get hung up. And that little booger is tough. Well, temperature drop out here. And then again, hold your finger right here when you release that, so don't like blow all your BBs out. And you load it. You're good to go. Grab it, slide it up your gun, click it in place, slack or slide, and you're well, with a CO2 of course, and you're good to go. So now, one thing I want to point out, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Very, very important. Don't go waving this around in the public or acting goofy with your neighbors, or, you know, somebody ticks you off and you go outside and aim it at their car or something, because you're going to get a phone call. They're very realistic looking, and you know, you could tuck this around and in your pants or something. You walk around the neighborhood, and if you're not in concealed carry state, that's definitely going to get you a call. But if you're acting all hostile or something like that, because these do look so very real, and especially low light conditions, you know, you're going to get popped. You know, I'm just telling you, be responsible, use your head. It's just that simple. Just turn your brain on and use your head. Be safe for everybody. I know, I've seen cats do this. They get drunk and they do something stupid, and the next thing you know, you're in jail. Don't be stupid. I'm just telling you, because these really do look very real. That was good. Not quite as beefy as the real thing. About the same weight. So, that being said, I'm going to line up some targets. We are going to, actually, we're going to load up both the Glock and the VP9. I'll go with the blue V9 first. Just since I'm at her, I'll just cut loose with a Glock too. So that's the way we do it at the Fly Can Ranch. We're going to get some targets set up, and then we'll be right back.